In this lecture, we're going to explore the option to use online compilers if for whatever reason we can't install a radio compiler on our system. And again, the goal is to be able to turn the code we type into what looks like an IDE into a compiler and get a binary that we can run and see the output of. There are a few online compilers that are very popular within the C++ community. Wandbox is one of them. There is also Compiler Explorer and Coliru, but there may be other ones out there if you do research on your own. We're going to go to the browser and actually check each of these out. Okay, here we are in our browser. Here I am on wandbox.org. And you see that it really looks like an IDE. Inside we have the code we've been running all along to make sure that it compiles with C++20. On the left here we have a few options. We can select which compiler we want to use. You see that there is a couple of GCC versions. You can see that this is a really nice way to test things across GCC versions. You see we have Clang 12. So if you want to test Clang out, you can select it. Let's actually try this. So we're going to use Clang head and try to compile this. So let's hit enter and see if Clang 12 supports C++20. And you see that it really works. Clang version 12 should support C++20 like this. Let's go back to GCC because that's what I like. And you can try putting different things in your C++ code to see if the compiler actually responds. For example, we can say stdcl, hello there, stdendl. And if we run, we're going to see the message output here. Another good thing with these online compilers is that you can share this code and anybody will be able to look at the code here and run it. So this is a really good way to get help from your instructor. So I do encourage you, if you run into a problem, come and use one of these compilers and send me the link. The way you can send the link, you can hit on share here, this button here. You're going to get a URL that you can copy and send to anybody, and they will be able to see your code just like we're going to see here in a minute. Okay, you see that it is the exact same thing, and anybody on the internet will be able to see your code and try to find whatever the problem is and help you out very fast. Wandbox is one compiler. You can play with the options that we have here. You can load different libraries. You see they have a lot of Boost libraries, but this is of no interest to us right now. You can play with it and see what you like about it. Another one is Coliru, which is another online compiler. You see, it doesn't have a lot of options like we had in Wandbox. For example, you cannot change the compiler. It's going to be using G++. But if we hit compile, link, and run, it's going to run our code and we're going to get the output here. Again, we can try and change this so that you know I'm not lying to you. So we can say stdcl and say the sky is blue. stdendl. If you want, you can hit Ctrl+ on your browser and it's going to make this a little bigger. And if we compile, link, and run, we should see the sky is blue in the output window here. This is really all you can do with Coliru. And if you like it, you can donate to the developers. I think we have the same thing on Wandbox, but it is in Japanese, so I can't really read this. Okay, another one is Compiler Explorer, which is a really good one. The main purpose of this is really not giving you the output. It is actually seeing assembly code that is generated for your C++ code. This is something a little bit advanced for our purposes here, so we're going to ignore this. We're just going to be using it to test our code with some of the popular compilers. If you look here on this drop box, you see that they also have a lot of compilers. You can use different GCC compilers. I think they have Clang. They even have MSVC. How cool is this? So you can use a lot of compilers, GCC, Clang. You see we have a lot of Clang compilers. We have Clang 11 here. So this is a really good way to try things out. We're going to come back to GCC 10.2. And notice that I passed the flag of C++20 to be able to support C++20. Again, if I come here in my code and say stdcout, the sky is white, don't worry about these errors. They're going to go away in a minute. Let's wait for the program to compile. You see that it is compiling. Let's wait a minute. The sky is white and everything is fine. If you don't see this output here, it is possible that you didn't check this checkbox, run the compiled output. So come to this drop box and make sure this is checked, and you should have a window like I have here. Compiler Explorer also allows you to share your code with people on the internet. Let me see if I can find the option to share. You come to this drop box and you get a link here that you can copy. I'm going to copy this and open a private window in my browser here so that we know that it is some other browser that is going to be opening this link and getting access to the same code we have in Compiler Explorer. And this is going to be pretty cool. And you see that we get Compiler Explorer privacy. We're going to close this. And you see that we have the same code. We can try modifying this code. For example, we can take out this third line here. It's going to start compiling. You see that it is compiling. And it is going to give us the output that we expect from this. So this is a really good tool to try out. If you want to share your code with some people that are not close to you, this is a really good way to do this. It is also good to try out different compilers. For example, if you don't have a GCC compiler, you can try it out here and see if it does things. For example, we didn't install Clang on our system, but we can try it out and see if it runs our code. But make sure you pass the correct flags here because you are responsible for this. For example, if you pass the flags that don't work, you're going to get errors. For example, if we say hello here, we're going to get weird errors and unrecognized command line option std hello. But if we say C++20, it is going to work. So make sure you pass the correct options. Okay, this is really all we set out to do in this lecture. I hope you know a little more about these online compilers. We're going to stop here in this lecture. In the next one, we're going to try and recap what we saw in this chapter. Go ahead and finish up here and meet me there.